Welcome to Shelf Life, the show where every week we put one food and beverage brand on the table and take its social media apart. The good, the bad, and the thing everybody's about to copy and shouldn't. I'm Giovanni Gallucci. Across the table, like always, Mindy Carpenter. Mindy, who are we tearing down today?
Chamberlain Coffee. Emma Chamberlain's brand. It's all over my feed, it's in my Target, and here's the part that got me, Gio. She started it barely out of her teens, and last year it did somewhere around $22 million.
22 million, up from about 19 the year before, and the projections have it pushing 33 this year. So the easy story is, famous girl slaps her name on a bag of coffee and prints money. That's the easy story. It's also wrong. There's a real playbook buried in here, and there's a real trap baked right into it. We'll grade both.
Start me at the hook. First thing you grade on this show. Is their content stopping the scroll?
It is, and it's not close. On the hook, Chamberlain Coffee is an A-. Here's why. Most coffee brands shoot a bag on a marble counter and call it content. Chamberlain leads with a face people already gave up an hour of their day to watch. Emma built one of the most parasocial audiences on the internet, making messy, honest vlogs. So when she pours a coffee on camera, you're not watching an ad, you're watching somebody you feel like you know, doing the thing you already follow her to do.
So the hook is just Emma.
The hook is the relationship. And that's the strongest possible version of what we praised last week. The founder is the one piece of content a competitor can't copy. Nobody can clone Emma Chamberlain's audience. They spent a decade building that trust, one awkward vlog at a time.
But you said A-, not A. What's the minus?
The minus is the whole reason we're doing this episode. When the face is the hook, you've to ask one hard question. Is there a brand here? Or is there just a famous person standing next to some cans? Because those are two completely different businesses.
Walk me through the difference.
A famous person next to some cans is a billboard with a pulse. It works exactly as long as the person keeps showing up and keeps being interesting. A brand is something that stops the scroll even when the founder's asleep. Right now, Chamberlain leans heavy on the first one. The content is gorgeous, but pull Emma out of frame and a lot of it goes quiet.
Has she said anything about wanting the brand to stand on its own?
They've signaled it. The packaging deliberately keeps her face off the can. Smart instinct. But the packaging is the easy 90%. The hard 10% is the comment section. And that's where standing on your own actually gets decided, not on the label.
Is that a problem if the face is working?
It's a problem the day the face gets tired or busy or just grows up and wants to go do something else. You don't want your whole content engine sitting on one person's willingness to keep filming. That's not a strategy. That's a hostage situation you volunteered for.
Okay, format. Are they using the right formats for the platform and the category?
This is where they're flat out good. On format fit, it's an A. They make content that was born on the platform, not dragged onto it. Stop motion of the cans, slow ASMR pours, flat lays in that soft pastel palette, little day in the life clips. It looks like TikTok and Instagram because it was built for TikTok and Instagram, not adapted from a 30-second TV spot.
I'll be honest, half the matcha videos on my feed lately are theirs or look like theirs.
And that's the smart read on the category. They caught the matcha wave instead of fighting it. Coffee is a knife fight. Everybody and their cousin sells beans. Matcha was the thing exploding on social. The green drink everybody suddenly started filming. Chamberlain leaned into matcha hard and let the platform tell them what to make. That's format fit and trend timing in the same move.
So they're chasing trends. Don't you usually hate that?
There's a difference between chasing a trend and catching a wave you can actually ride. Chasing is posting a sound 3 weeks late because you saw everyone else do it. Catching a wave is spotting matcha climbing and having product on the shelf ready to meet it. One's desperate, the other's just paying attention. Chamberlain paid attention.
Does leading with matcha confuse people about what they even are? It's called Chamberlain Coffee.
A little, and that's the one format risk worth naming. Name says coffee, feeds half green drinks. But I'd take that trade every day. You can't manufacture a wave that already crested, so you ride the one that's here and sort the name out later.
What about how often they post? You grade cadence too.
I do, and cadence is a B+. They're consistent, they show up, the feed never goes dark. Volume isn't their problem. But here's the thing people get backwards about cadence. Posting every day is table stakes, not a strategy. The question was never how often you show up. It's whether what you post builds anything that survives the swipe.
And does it?
Some of it. The aesthetic is consistent enough that you'd recognize a Chamberlain frame with the logo cropped off, and that's worth real money. But a lot of the volume is just pretty. Pretty gets a like. Pretty doesn't get you a fan who'd follow the brand to a different city, and that's exactly where the grade falls off, so let's go there.
That's the next one. Community. How do they turn an audience into a fan base?
And this is the soft spot. On the community mechanic, Chamberlain Coffee is a C+, and it's the most important grade of the night. Here's the trap. They didn't build a community, they inherited one. Emma's audience showed up pre-assembled, and the brand has mostly been broadcasting at it ever since.
What's wrong with inheriting an audience that big?
Nothing, until you realize you don't actually own it. That's Emma's audience. It's loyal to a person, not to a can of cold brew. The brand is renting that attention, and the rent is Emma continuing to be the brand every single day. The work nobody sees Chamberlain doing is the work of turning her viewers into their fans.
So what would that even look like? Draw the line for me.
It looks like the brand growing a voice of its own in the comments, replying like a personality, not a press release, naming the regulars, building inside jokes that belong to the coffee, not to Emma's vlogs. Olipop did exactly this without a celebrity at all. They turned a comment section into a clubhouse. Chamberlain has 10 times the starting audience and a fraction of that back and forth.
You think they're too quiet in the replies?
I think they treat social like a stage when they should treat it like the counter at a coffee shop. A stage is one person performing at a crowd. A counter is where the barista learns your order and you come back because somebody knew it. Chamberlain has the prettiest stage in the category. What they're missing is the counter.
Is any of this on Emma personally or on the brand team?
It's on the team, not on her. Her job is to be the draw, and she does it better than almost anyone alive. The brand's job is to catch everyone she draws and hand them a reason to stay that isn't her. That's a community management job, and it's the least glamorous chair in the building, which is exactly why it's sitting empty.
Okay, give me the rule.
Brand loyalty is built in the comments, not the captions. A creator brand starts life with a giant audience and almost no community, and those aren't the same thing. An audience watches. A community shows up. The only job that matters, here's converting one into the other, and that conversion happens in the replies, not the feed.
And if they never do that conversion?
Then the day Emma steps back, the brand finds out the hard way that nobody was a fan of the coffee. They were fans of her. That's the bill that comes due for every creator brand that skips this step. And most of them skip it, because replying to 10,000 people by hand is boring, and filming a pretty pour isn't.
Last one on the rubric, the retail to social loop. How does their social drive the shelf and back? This is the grocery part.
And here's the twist, because this is where they're genuinely excellent. On the retail to social loop, Chamberlain Coffee is an A. They're in something like 10,000 stores now. Walmart, Target, Costco, Whole Foods. But the move I want operators to actually study is the cafe.
The one in LA. Tell me why that's the smart part.
In January of last year, they opened a permanent cafe in the Century City Mall in Los Angeles. And it wasn't a quiet little soft open, lines out the door. They did over 30,000 transactions in the early stretch, and they've got more locations coming.
A mall coffee shop. Help me see the strategy in that.
That cafe isn't a coffee shop, it's a set. Every single person standing in that line is filming. They're posting the cup, the wall, the pastel, everything, and tagging the brand for free. Chamberlain turned a physical location into a content factory that the customers staff for them. The social drives people to the store manufactures more social, and all of it feeds the shelf back at Target. That's the loop closing exactly the way it's supposed to.
So the store is really a piece of content.
The store is the best piece of content they own, and they didn't even have to make it. Most brands treat retail as the finish line, the place the social funnel dumps out and dies. Chamberlain treats retail as the start of the next post. That's the part everyone copying them should copy, and almost nobody will, because it's harder than filming a pour.
Could a small brand without LA Mall money pull off any version of this?
Absolutely, and that's the part I don't want operators to miss. You don't need a mall, you need one physical moment worth filming. A pop-up, a farmer's market booth, A single end cap at the local grocer with a sign that begs for a photo. Scale the idea down, keep the loop. The cafe is just the loud version of a move any brand with one table can run.
Why won't the copycats copy the right part?
Because the pretty poor gets you 1,000 likes by Tuesday. The cafe is a year of work, real money, and a dozen ways to fail in public. Everybody wants the highlight. Almost nobody wants the building. That gap, right there, is the whole game.
So bring it home. The one thing they fix first. What's it?
Give the brand a life that doesn't need Emma in the frame. That's the one thing. Build a voice in the comments that's the coffee's voice, not the founder's. Turn the regulars into characters. Make the account something people would follow even if Emma never posted again. Right now, the brand is a single point of failure with a great haircut, and the fix is entirely a social and community job. It costs attention, not money.
And the mistake everyone copying them is about to make?
Assuming a creator's audience just becomes a brand's community for free, it doesn't. You can borrow a famous person's attention overnight. You can't borrow belonging. Belonging gets built one reply at a time by a brand that bothers to show up in its own comments like an actual human being. Every creator launching a coffee, a sauce, a seltzer this year is about to learn that a follower count is a loan, not an asset. Chamberlain has the best shot in the whole category to prove a creator brand can grow into a real one. Whether it does comes down to whether it builds the counter, not just the stage.
That's the show. Chamberlain Coffee, on the table.
That's shelf life. One brand up every week, and the truth about it's social, so you can steal what works and skip what doesn't. I'm Giovanni Gallucci, she's Mindy Carpenter. Go build something people would miss.